Hey everybody, it is Karen Lampiazzi. I wanted to take a couple of minutes today to talk to you about how to share a file with Google Drive. Very often people are asked to create a downloadable and shareable link. That's kind of like the lingo that everybody uses when we need to share perhaps a self-tape audition or a video file. And we do not want to try to email the file. The files are going to be way too large. So we want to be able to create a shareable and downloadable link that when somebody clicks on it, they can view it right there without doing anything else, without having to download it, but that they have the option to download if then they need to download it. So it's a great way to share a link with managers, agents, casting, should they need it that way, but that's what they mean when they say a downloadable link. That's what they want. Okay, so the way that you do this, you have really two choices. You could either share the folder that it's in, or you can share the individual files. So depending on how you've created your material, you may perhaps have created a folder in your Google Drive that is like your name dash the project. So it's Karen Lampiazzi dash, blockbuster movie, whatever it is, right? In that file, when I open up that folder, in that folder is going to be, it could go one of two ways. I could have one compiled video already with the slate, scene one, scene two. If it's a musical, I have my song, I have whatever things I needed in it are compiled into one video file. You're going to want to make sure it's less than 500 megabytes because that's the max size that you could upload into EcoCast, which in Actors Access or breakdowns for managers and agents is the largest file size that it can be. So just to be safe, because if that's ultimately what's going to happen with that video, you want to make sure it's not bigger than that. And there are ways to compress it. I suggest learning how to use Handbrake, which is a free downloadable compressing program. I'll do a quick video on that another time. But let's say I want to share the entire folder. I'm going to go to my file manager, find Google Drive, on your little side directory or whatever. And I'm on a PC, so some of like the icon kind of things here might be a little different on a Mac, but this is from a PC. So I want to find the folder, and I'm going to share the folder as an example. I'm going to kind of hover over it. I'm going to right click. I'm going to go to share with Google Drive, and I'm going to click on it. Pulls up this box. This is where we want to be. So you have a couple of options here. Most people start going down here and typing in somebody's email address thinking, great, I've just shared this folder with them. But what you've done is given them access, you've granted them permission to kind of access that folder, but it is not a link that they can click and just view it or download it. They have to download it. So when you do it that way, it creates two problems. Number one, they must download it in order to view it. So if they're on their phone or an iPad or something, they're not going to be happy, or I'm not going to be happy, because I don't want to be downloading these files onto my phone, or really, honestly, even my computer, unless I have to, but definitely not my phone or my iPad. And then secondly, they can't just look at it and then forward it to the next person. So let's say you were sending it to your manager, who then needed to send it to your agent, but they wanted to look at it first. If you do it this way down at the bottom where you've shared by putting in their email address, they can't forward it to anybody else. They can't forward it to an agent. They can't forward it to casting. They can't do anything with it other than download it. Then they have to do this whole process of like creating the links and sharing and copy and pasting into an email and all of that. So what you do want to do is up here at the top, you want to get a shareable link. Copy the link. There you go. The thing you want to check is here. You want it to say anyone with the link can view. That is the option you want. You will have different options when you click that little down arrow here. Just make sure that it says view only. Now don't get confused. View only does give them the option to download it. So they can view it and they can download it. All right. Click done. Copy and paste it into an email. So that's kind of the thing. If you had sent it where you shared it with just permission, this is what they're going to see, right? They're going to see this, but there's no active link. So just to recap, the quick way to do this is go to your Google Drive, find your kind of file folder structure and find the folder or the file that you want to share. You go to your to the file name, you right click on the name, you click Share with Google Drive. Make sure it says anyone with the link can view. You click Get a Shareable Link. You do copy and paste it into the body of an email. It will look like a long string of numbers attached after kind of like a website looking address. But do not enter specific emails down at the bottom. Don't share it that way because they will not be able to open it or share it further. So that's kind of like the recap. It's super easy to do. Hopefully that helped.